YouTube, please give me a moment while I get connected to Facebook here. We'll be getting started momentarily. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I am your host, Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing great. Let us get started, but first we have to look at a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. So make sure to agree to that before proceeding with today's video. If you'd like to download the copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. But without further ado, let's turn to the charts and get started. If you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. Also, if you have any questions for us, reach out by emailing customer service info@t3live.com. info@t3live.com. All right, here we go. Another go at it this week. So the market is stuck in a range. It's a very easy call this week. If we take out the highs, then we should be higher, okay? If we take out the lows, as you can see, that's the Qs, the tracking ETF for the NASDAQ 100. So if we take out the highs, we should be higher. But more importantly, since we're actually in a downtrend overall, if we break under Friday's low, which is 266.82 on the Qs, we can also look at the SPY, you can look at the IWM, it's the same thing. So the SPY low would be 363.50. Right? The IWM is going to be a different number, but it's the same picture. If we break Friday's low, I feel sure we will have a multi-day, multi-week, maybe multi-month sell-off if we break Friday's low. Barring a break of Friday's low, I am going to be bullish for the time being. I don't know how long this seemingly short-term bottom is going to last, but I'm going to be bullish barring a break of Friday's low in the market. That's it. As simple as that. Now, again, on the hourly chart, we have kind of it's not a base, but we have a range, we have a range bound market. Okay? We had actually a very interesting market where we popped, and that was very bullish on maybe Thursday. Okay, or was it Thursday? Not sure. And then on Thursday, and then the breakout completely got negated. I went short the Qs just before the end of the day on Thursday. Friday we had a gap down, and then before the market opened, we were actually it was a nice gap down, like 1.3%, I think. And then by the time the market opened flat, and then rallied all day. So I had to cover my short position in the Qs at a small loss. And then we closed almost at the high. So I do think this is going to be a short-term bottom in the market. How long will it last? I don't know. This is not an easy bottom. It's not a clean bottom either. What we have on the weekly chart here is a breakdown failure, a bit of a breakdown failure. So I'm thinking we should retrace back up to the declining 20 on the weekly, maybe overtake it by a little bit. If we were to draw a trend line, let's just see. So that's 400. I'd be surprised if we got to 400. I'd be really surprised. But, I mean, that would be really bullish in my opinion. So maybe initially to here, maybe a little bit above as well later on. But we'll take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. For now, I'm going to be bullish unless we break Friday's low. Then if we break Friday's low, then I'll go back to being bearish. Okay, I'll go back to being bearish. All right, so that's my bias on the market. I hope it makes sense. Now let's take a look at the daily watch list. Since I'm expecting this to be a short-term bottom, I have a lot of long ideas. I may not have the time to go over all the ideas, but here we go. ACI gap down probably was some kind of a special dividend or something, but it's based also the majority of the day on Friday, so I like it over the base. Stop can be as tight as 20.85, or to be, safer, 20.57, under 20.57, and target plenty of room to $24, or just plenty of room. So over Friday's high, stop under Friday's low, and target could be as big as $24. CHTR, disclaimer, I already have an open position in it. Okay, hasn't gone anywhere. Like it over the base, stop under as a transition on the daily chart. More importantly, it has a monthly climactic buy setup. So check it out on the monthly. Love this monthly chart. Look at that. Down from $850 all the way down to $300 to support. So I think this can easily see 400, maybe even $500, depending on how long of a bottom this is going to be. Whether it's going to be a short-term bottom or a more of a longer-term bottom. CHWY also is kind of interesting. Has a higher low on the monthly. Not great. Daily actually looks better. But the problem with CHWY, I would do it if it was a slightly tighter stop. But it's a big stop. So entry over the blue line, stop under, and target about $50 on the CHWY. All right? CIM is not a great daily because you have the declining 20. I like it when the 20 flattens out and starts to point up. But look at that monthly chart on the CIM. Wow. I mean, is this climactic or what? So I think this is due for a bounce over the base. Tightest stop would be just under the base. It's not much of a base. So right here. Or if you want to give it more room, to there. Okay? If you don't want to get shaken out, give it more room. If you say, no, I don't mind getting shaken out, but I want to be out as soon as the stock starts to break down, then use the tight stop. Up to you. And target looks to be about maybe 750, 775 or so on the CIM. Credit Suisse, I think bottomed. There are no easy charts out there, easy patterns, which is why I don't think this bottom is going to last a long time. I think it's going to be a short-term bottom. Because you look at the charts, a lot of them look like they've bottomed for now, but they don't look like they've bottomed long-term just yet. So that's my biggest issue with this bottom in the market is, how long is it going to last? Long on the CS, stop. And then CS has been in a long-term downtrend. If you look at the monthly, I mean, just incredible. And so accelerated a little bit. So target maybe up here and then target to the declining 20 on the monthly. Ericsson, like it a lot if we can take out Thursday's high. So over 557, stop, or 556, stop 515. Target on this is kind of hard to figure out. Is it $6 or is it, the declining 20, or is it more like the weekly 20 MA? It's really hard to figure out. So the target on this, I'm not so sure. I know where the entry or the stop goes, but I don't know where the target is. So 557 by 516. FINV is a China stock, and the Chinese stocks have been getting killed, except for the FINV. It's kind of a special stock. Look at this. Bullish over 501. 501.02 is the high. Stop just so as to not get shaken out. 409. If you want to use a tighter stop, right here, which would be 448, under 448. And target should be 685. Okay? On the FINV. It's the only China stock that I know of that hasn't totally collapsed. GPS it was on my list last week. Didn't really go anywhere. Notice the higher low on the monthly. So GPS. What about the ANF also? I just want to take a look at it because I don't think yeah, looks good too over the red bars high. So ANF, GPS, long over the base, stop on the GPS. I would use this bar's low, which is 916. So over 1050 by 916. Long-term play. Humana is very impressive. Look at the Humana, all-time high, remains in an all-out uptrend on the monthly chart since it bottomed in 2008 or 2009. Amazing. From $18 in March of 2009 to $510 now. So it looks higher to me. A big stop over the highs, stop under the daily, the base, kind of the 475 or so, 476.20. Okay, and then long over the highs. It's a big stop. ILMN had a really big drop on the monthly chart also, so zoom out, you'll see what I mean. To support, looks higher to go back up to here at least. So ILMN long over Friday's high, stop under the SPAR's low, which is 190. And then, like I said, target should be about 250, 260 on the ILMN. INTC, Intel, looks interesting. Climactic drop also to support. So it looks good, looks decent. Weekly has a nice reversal bar. There it is. So long over 27.05. Target about $30 on the INTC. So I like it. Again, lots of ideas. They're not perfect. The MLKN went a little climactic, tried to go lower and failed. Basing here and base breakout. So long over the base, stop under it or stop under the pivot to make sure you don't get shaken out. So I do recommend giving it a little bit more room. That's the monthly also. So it's at support. Double bottom on the monthly. Going back to 2012, I mean, that's like the support is held when it crashed in 2020. Now it's 2022, going back to 2012, so 10 years. The 3M, I think, might have bottomed also. So if you look at the monthly chart on the 3M, down a lot also. It's been in a downtrend for 4 years or so. But it's tough because it's not a tight stop, and I don't think it's going to move up that much. Maybe target 1 and then target 2. Okay, so not a ton of room. NGM is already an open play. Called it twice over the bar's high, over that big gap down. It triggered, added to it on the 1, 2, 3 there, and there's another 1, 2, 3. And look at the hourly chart. Oops, let's fix that hourly chart. Here it is, another base breakout. So I like it a lot. Over the base, stop under it. Okay, target has room to $10 basically on the NGM. Really nice open play already, but I'm looking to add to it. ORC is another, I think, what do you call it? Like a real estate stock, probably. Climactic, look at the monthly. At support. So we have a lot of these, but they're not perfect setups. It's like Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is bottoming perhaps. It's over there. But it's so messy. It's so sloppy. So I think it's worth taking a shot, but keep in mind that, if let's say I had $100,000 and that I wanted to put in the market, I wouldn't put the whole thing right now because I think this could be some kind of a nice bottom, but we will either get another bottom, like another opportunity to add to the positions, or we will take it out and continue on lower. So I think this is a decent time to allocate some funds to the market. Again, barring a break of Friday's low, decent time to allocate some funds to the market. But is it the bottom? Is it the long-term bottom? I don't think so. Long, stop. Target where the sell-off started from, $12. If you're lucky, 14. If you're lucky. But it would really, to get to 14, that means the market would have to also cooperate. PRTY has a weekly buy setup, deep pullback, but it's got a weekly buy setup. So long over Friday's high, stop under the pivot. I'm passing on it, but looks decent. RBLX, interesting. Very sloppy, but you can see it's already in a weekly uptrend. Reminds me of Uber also, which looks higher too, but really tough entry. Over the base, stop under it on the RBLX. SKLZ is probably my favorite daily chart, and yet it's not one of the ones that I picked for tomorrow. Why? Because look at the weekly. Not a good weekly. There's a tight downtrend. I want something that has a very dramatic climactic downtrend on the weekly, very extended, like say the CIM maybe, very far from the 20, or the ORC, or any of these stocks that are down far below the 20 on the weekly. On the SKLZ, on the SKLZ, well, the 20 is right there. So that's the problem with the SKLZ. Otherwise, that's a beautiful daily chart for a transition A breakout plus a 1, 2, 3. So long over 110, stop under 103. Maybe, you know, target would be 140. So that gives you enough reward to risk. And then the 20-year treasuries, interesting long. I am looking to play the TLT long over $94, stop under 92.25. And target is gonna have to be that consolidation, maybe $100 if we're lucky. If we're lucky. On the TLT trip, looking higher. Look at that 20 MA, but it's also not a tight stop. So long over the base, stop maybe right here, or if you want to be safe, all the way down there. As a long-term play, I like to give things room. If it's a swing trade, I usually go with the tight stop. So it depends what your goal is for the play. If your goal is, oh, this is the play that I've been waiting for all year, I want to just buy it, set it and forget about it, you know, then give it the big stop. VCSA is also that curling 20 MA, base breakdown, failure right here, so over the base, stop under it. Could also be probably a long-term play too. It has a higher low on the weekly. Monthly is down a lot. And then last but not least is the ZM. And if you look at the ZM, what a story. And this is the case on hundreds and hundreds of stocks. It went bananas during the pandemic, right? From, I don't know, $50 to 500, 550. It drops, where is it at now? $81. So it's back down to support, maybe slightly above. So could it rally back up to 100 plus? Yes, I think so. But it will really depend on what kind of a bounce we get in the market, what kind of a rally we get in the market. So long over the base, stop right here. Some believe this is gonna be the bottom. I don't think so. That's why I'm allocating some funds, but I'm not going all out. I also don't love the patterns. I think most of these patterns are not perfect. Not perfect. So ZM long over the base, stop under, target about $100. And then the short list, the bearish list, we got AMPS 1, 2, 3 short. So short under the doji bar, stop above it. The problem with the AMPS is the 20 MA, 200 MA, the red line, which when flat acts as a floor, is not too far below. If the 200 MA was like down here, I would definitely do it. But you know, the 200 MA usually acts as support. Otherwise, it's a beautiful 1, 2, 3. This looks lower, doesn't it? Look at that big rounding top. Looks like it wants to take a dive. Looks lower under the base. Stop above it. And then you got your target down at the bottom right here. Not a lot of R to R. Not a lot of R reward to risk. NSTG 1, 2, 3, 4. So igniting bar, couple of narrow range bars. And if it takes out Thursday's low, which is 910, then it should be lower for at least a couple more days. TBT is obviously I think that it's leveraged 2 to 1 20-year treasuries. So it's the same as the TLT, but in this case, short. And then I think it has twice the leverage. Under 37.68 by 38.80, target about 34. Okay, the rising 20 on the daily chart. So I like it, but all of these plays need to trigger, meaning on the TBT, it does need to take out 37.68 before it to play, before you get in it, before one gets in it. And then WDFC is WD40 is very, very wild and thin. So this is a tough one because it's very spready and crazy. Short under 149, stop over 155.04, or if you look at the hourly chart, I think there's more resistance at 157.20. So I would use 157.20 as the stop because the target on this is huge. I mean, it's like $100 somewhere here, maybe 110. Okay, so it's a big target. Might as well not get shaken out and give it a couple of dollars over Friday's high. Usually I just use the bars low as an entry and the bars high as my stop when I'm going short. But in this case, I'd give it a couple more dollars, especially since it is WD40, which is a crazy wild stock. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps support our channel. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out. Email us, info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. Best of luck with your trading next week, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Ciao.